Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Flamer Rifle mod, which is being made by user Degenerate Dak. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is an absolutely wonderful new flamethrower, inspired by the flamethrower from the Last of Us video game, which is kinda nifty. I'm not the biggest Last of Us fan personally, but always cool to see post-apocalyptic games sharing their post-apocalyptic weaponry, and I think this thing, with its kind of homemade feel to it, very much fits into the Fallout world. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what exactly we are getting with the Flamer Rifle, which in its most basic and standard form will do 11 damage with a standard fuel, with a firing rate of 100, with a range of 83, accuracy of 56, and a fairly hefty weight here of 12.7. But honestly, not too shabby considering, you are getting, as you can see here, a whole giant flamethrower, which is just fun to play around with. And honestly, I feel like this is a more appropriate style of flamethrower to our usual flamer in the game. The incinerator I like a little bit better, but still, I find this to be an appropriate flamethrower because it kind of looks like a real one, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, as for modification-wise, you can see over here we've got a fair few categories. Not a huge list of things in some of those categories, but overall we've got more than 40 attachments over here for you to be able to change this weapon up a bit, which is pretty cool. You know, add more damage, change the range, and even some things which turn it more into a napalm thrower rather than a flamethrower, which is really fun and cool, and I very much do like, and again, feels very Fallout to me. Plus some nice aesthetic options as well to change it a bit more up to your personal style, which is not bad at all. Now, as for how you get your hands on one of these things, well, it's pretty darn simple. You'll start finding them in the world at level 6 on raiders, gunners, minutemen, and of course vendors. And there is also one unique version out there in the Commonwealth for you to find. So yeah, it definitely shouldn't take you too long to get your hands on one of these lovely things. And when you've got it, like I said, there's more than 40 different attachments. So let's jump on in first into the compressor category here, where we've got pretty standard sort of, well, naming conventions at least, of standard calibrated, hardened, rapid, and powerful, doing the highest amount of damage there. Though, of course, the rapid having much higher fire rate, which means more DPS. Now, in the standard, or in the barrel category, we've only got 3 things, either the standard, short, or long barrel, which, interestingly, the long barrel hurts your accuracy, which you'd think... Actually, I don't know how that would work with a flamethrower, to be honest with you. I know with a gun, that would help, but flamethrower, I don't know. But yes, you have these 3 options in here. And then in the stock category, we've got, again, 3 options of either the standard, a recoil compensating, which adds a nice mat to the back over here, and then a marksman one, which adds another pad up to the top of the flamer rifle. Now, then on the tank category, we've either got the standard or large tank, as well as quick change variants for both, which is always good to see. And then in the sights category, not a whole lot of things here. We've got the standard, dot, hollow, reflex, and a laser sight, granted for a flamethrower. I don't really know what other sights you'd really be looking for, considering it's a flamethrower. You're not exactly sniping people with one of these. Now, then in the nozzle category, this is where we get some of the more fun things, in my opinion. We've either got, just the standard nozzle, a bayonet, which is actually a big fork, which is kind of amusing. We have a compression barrel doing better range but reduce damage, liquefier barrel, change again damage and range, but the flames now are affected by gravity, which is kind of interesting. The vaporizer barrel adding superior damage, but somewhat inferior range, but definitely bumping up that damage there. And finally, my personal favorite, the napalm launcher I was kind of talking about earlier, the incinerator nozzle, which fires globs of fuel instead that, you know, explode when they hit things. Kind of awesome. Also doing some pretty sweet damage there, which is magnificent. And yeah, that is our options in that category. So on to the barrel aesthetic category, I guess, considering we have in here a variety of wraps as well as foregrips for you to put on the weapon. And they basically come in either a standard nothing and then either taped or leather wrapped. Same with the foregrip here, just kind of there, and then taped and leather. We then have an accessory category here where we can add a flashlight, a recon laser, or VATS targeting module. And finally, we've got the grip category, which, similarly to the, you know, barrel and foregrip category up there, is either a standard, taped, or leather wrapped for that aesthetic styling that you might like. And that is it for the different modifications for this lovely flamer rifle. So let me go grab my two modified versions and we'll take a look at how this thing functions. I mean, it's a flamethrower. It's going to function like a flamethrower, so that shouldn't really be surprising. But we'll take a look at the standard first, and not only is it going to be just a fun flamethrower, but it's also got some fun effects to it. For instance, you'll notice the gauge that we do have on the flamer rifle there actually does work as we fire. You can see the gauge going up, and also the nozzle out front is going to get quite hot, and so by the time we use all the fuel here, as you can see, it is glowing hot and even creating that sort of heat mirage effect, which is pretty nice. I very much do like that. It makes it feel a little bit more realistic, which is always cool. And I mean, it's also just fun to shoot things with the flamethrower. That's just entertaining. And the reload, not too bad there, putting in a new fuel tank. Now, then if we go down to our, well, we'll go to the recoil compensating one first. And this one I did put a scope on because, you know, why not? And there we go. Still just firing like a normal flamethrower, but I do love that gauge over there on the side. I don't know why I like it as much as I do, but I really do, because it's kind of entertaining and lovely. All right, switch that ammo back out. Do like the 150 round fuel tanks. What would that be measured in, I guess? I don't know. But then we got the Marksman Powerful Flamer Rifle here that I made, which has that incinerator barrel, or nozzle rather, on it, so that we can launch, well, basically napalm. And just make the entire area an inferno of doom. And that's wonderful. Now, my one problem that I have with it is quite slow to fire. This is as fast as we can shoot this thing. I wish we could, you know, fire a little bit more quickly. And it is a per trigger pull, so it is semi-automatic. We don't have an automatic version that just holds down the trigger and fires. Those are the two sort of complaints I have for it, but still, otherwise, I mean, it's just fun. You can just make a whole area just covered in flames, a lot easier than you could do it with, say, a whole lot of Molotovs. And that's entertaining. So let's jump on over here and take a look at how we can use it in combat. And, oh boy, this may be a mistake still, even though it is a pretty decent flamer. I do have right here the Deathclaw code. And also a Bandit code, just in case. But what the heck, let's grab the Deathclaw. Hello, Deathclaw! Fire! Oh wow, I hadn't actually fired it in the water yet. It has the explosion effect. Neat. Well, not only have I lit the Deathclaw on fire, it did do some secondary damage along the way as he was running. Oh god, I need to get to my cheese spot. Definitely going to take a long time to kill him with this, but in the meantime, we create just an actual literal hellscape, which is just entertaining. All right, let's go grab the other flamer, though, to get back to some more traditional flamethrower action. All right, come back, please. Not entirely sure what the range is on this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, oh, no, he doesn't know what to do with me. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ooh, this one's not really cooking him. Not doing near as much as the other one was. Unfortunate. Well, I mean, this is my favorite one anyways, so... Die, Deathclaw! Die! And what, of course, is fun about this is, since it is exploding on contact, it is doing AoE damage. So if you do have a cluster of enemies, well, you're burning them all down, and that's, again, just entertaining. And you know what? We took out this Deathclaw in less time than I anticipated. I figured it'd take a little bit more. But there he is. He tried to put himself out in the water. Didn't work. Now I actually want to try something else here real quick, just out of fun curiosity. Let's spawn like 6 of these guys.
Shit!
Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Oh, that was wonderful. Just a few shots burnt quite a bit. In fact, I shot the center one and it lit all of them on fire. So that radius is quite a bit larger than I anticipated it was going to be. But that worked out quite well. That worked out very well. And to make sure I don't die, because I want to do that again, I am going to turn on God mode just real briefly. And let's do that with 12 of these guys this time. And center. Yeah, we got a lot of them. We got a lot of them there. There we go, and they're all on fire and dying. Just a couple of shots, and we took out 12 raiders. Well, almost. They're still burning slowly. All right, let's finish this. Right in the middle of them. Oh, didn't get that last guy. There we go. Finished it. Okay. Okay, that is more fun than I originally thought. That radius is much larger than I originally thought, which just makes it so much more fun. I do love this flamer rifle. I've very much been enjoying my time with it. And if you would like to take a look at it for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you have a look at the link in the video as per usual. But that is going to be it for this one today. A lovely new flamethrower for you to enjoy that can actually be turned into more of a proper rifle sort of a thing, which is just entertaining. So hopefully you all have enjoyed this one, and you do come back for whatever mod we do look at next. But until that time, thank you for watching as always. Well, have a good one.